Hello friends, today I am here to again discuss another interesting topic. This topic is not that very much relevant to your interviews because in most of the interviews you would not be asked this question. However, in some interviews you may be asked this question. The reason is that this topic it involves a lot of mathematical details, and I do not want to go to the mathematical detail because the derivations they are quite long, maybe some 3 to 4 pages you can tell, and it would be quite boring. Like if you're not interested, if you're interested, please go through the mathematical detail also. So now the topic is that why we divide by n minus 1 for sample standard deviation. Okay, you must have seen that while computing mean for the sample we are dividing it through n, but while computing the standard deviation we are dividing it through n minus 1. Have you wondered why this thing is happening? Okay, so you are at the right place. So I am going to explain it to through very shortly in a crisp way, and like without going through the mathematical details. Okay, so now let mu it be the population average and x bar it is the sample average. When we mean it's a population, like it's all the elements that are the constituent, it we call it as a population. But if we see if we see like sample, it means we are selecting some elements and we are constituting a sample. So it is not possible to estimate the mean of the population. Because the number is very huge, it is not difficult to get the exact data. So instead we take some small samples and we compute the mean of these samples. Okay, so now we take several of these samples and we average all the estimates of the individual sample. Okay, so we take several samples from from a population, and we then take some small samples from the population. We take in many number of samples. Okay, so now if we see, the average of this sample is nearly equal to the mu. So for each of these samples, the if we take the mean and we take the average of this mean, we'll find it's nearly equal to the population mean. If we compute the variance of these samples, it is given by xi minus x square by n. Okay, so now what is happening here is that the average of the sample should be less than the population average sigma square, which is the variance. Okay, so the average of all the variance of the sample is less than the population variance. It if you want to know like why this is happening, then you have to go through the mathematical details, but which is not needed at this point because my aim is to explain the gist of this thing. So the sample variance is less than the population variance. Okay, and when we are dividing it by n, and it is again a lesser value. Okay, now if we divide it by n minus 1, so the sample variance it can be comparable to the population variance. You can see, like if we have a number 2, we are dividing it by 4, and again if we are having a number 2, we are dividing it by 3. You see, if I dividing by 3, then value is greater. If I dividing by 4, the value is small. So to make the sample variance comparable with the population variance, we divide it through n minus 1 and not n. Okay, so now you must be thinking like why anyway sample variance is an approximation of the population variance, then what for we are dividing by n minus 1 or n? How does it matter? It matters because this gives us an unbiased estimate of variability. Okay, now what exactly is variability? Okay, your variance it calculates the volatility or the variability. Okay, now you must have seen stock markets. Okay, so if I tell you the volatility of a stock is 100, okay, so now it means that a stock can go either 100 points down or it may go 100 points up every day. Okay, so if I tell you the volatility is 50, variability is 50, so this means it can go by up by 50 points every day or down by 50 points every day. Okay, but the volatility of the stock is 100. If you are going to trade in this stock, then obviously if by getting this wrong information, then you may not be careful, because where the volatility is high, we tend to remain careful. Where the volatility is low, we need not be careful. But instead, if I tell you the volatility is 200 or the variability is 200, you will be remain extra careful if you are trading with the stock, because the stock can go down by 200 points, it can go up by 200 points. So if it's a, if we are getting a variance which is lesser than what is being projected, then it's our inference thinks it will be different, and we will fall into a trap again. So if we have a greater variance, it's not a problem for us. So to keep the variance greater and near to the population level, we divide it by n minus 1. Okay, so now this thing is known as Bessel correction. So because of this Bessel correction, we are dividing our standard deviation by n minus 1 and not n. I hope this topic was useful to you, and you got the gist of it. If you want to know more, please go through the mathematical details. Okay, so thank you for patient listening.